Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and you just heard the great San Francisco Bay Area guitarist Jim Nunally giving this new Yamaha guitar a great workout with a flat pick. The guitar we've got here is the FG9M, which is a new guitar that's part of the sort of high-end line of acoustic guitars that Yamaha has come out with fairly recently. And it's a very interesting instrument that really positions it with other medium to high-end level instruments by other acoustic guitar manufacturers. So I first became aware of these guitars when I heard about them being displayed at the IBMA conference a couple of years ago, and I've since had a chance to play a couple of these both at a NAMM show and at a local music shop here in our area, and I've been very impressed with what I've seen and heard. So I'm pleased to finally have a chance to have one of these here in the studio, because they are a very interesting combination of being designed and prototyped in Yamaha's custom shop here in the United States, in Southern California, by luthier Andrew Enns, who is behind the project and builds the prototypes, which are then sent to Yamaha's premier facility in Japan, where the guitars are manufactured and really take advantage of the significant resources and modern technology that Yamaha has at its disposal for building these instruments. Now, they are targeted toward basically traditional acoustic guitar players, and as such, they really follow kind of a combination of Yamaha's original design and kind of traditional American flat top design. You can see Yamaha stuck with its own outline, which is kind of a modified, somewhat original version of a dreadnought shape. You also have the Yamaha peghead here. And there are lots of interesting appointments that I'll get back to in a moment. But fundamentally, under the hood, we're dealing with a dreadnought that has a beautiful Adirondack spruce top. It's got scalloped X bracing, really nice mahogany back and sides on this guitar. Of course, all the woods are solid woods. Very high level of detail in the craftsmanship of these guitars. Just really very impressive from both a material and a craftsmanship, and just an overall sense of design and build quality on these instruments. The guitar is quite lightweight, lighter than many dreadnoughts. And just has a very lively response. You heard Jim playing with a flat pick, but even playing it fingerstyle. I'm in drop D tuning now. It kind of shows the response that the guitar is capable of, which is not something that I find in all dreadnoughts. So very responsive to a soft touch, and yet it really held up well when Jim was playing it with a pick. So many of these design elements on this guitar, which I think are really beautiful, are inspired by traditional Japanese woodworking. And of course, there is a long tradition of that. I particularly like these position markers, which use a single inlay that can be seen both on the side of the fingerboard and on the face of the fingerboard. I think it's very functional and beautiful, which is something that should always be strived for with guitar design. We, of course, have seen rope binding and purfling on guitars of all kinds for a long time. But there are roots in Japanese woodworking for that too, and we see it on the purfling, we see it on the rosette, which has kind of a double rope pattern, kind of a design in here, and we have a beautiful inlay in the heel cap here, nice little center strip between the two pieces of mahogany on the back. The guitar uses Goto SXN 510 tuners in the Cosmo Black finish. It's kind of a black chrome, very, very cool looking finish. Very kind of contemporary feeling neck, more contemporary than vintage in terms of the neck feel of the guitar. And speaking of the neck, the guitar uses a bolt-on neck design that was developed particularly for these guitars. And it does need to be said that Yamaha has an impressive history of making guitars really at all levels. Of course, most of us are familiar with the company's sort of value-minded instruments, and there are many of those around in all styles, whether it's steel string, classical, electric, that just offer a lot of value for the money. But the company has also always had some high-end instruments. They've always been high-end classicals, they've always been high-end electrics. There have been various kinds of more high-end steel string flat tops as well, but I think this is kind of the most true to kind of American traditional vintage guitars that Yamaha has ever come with these instruments. And it's just a very impressive project and very cool guitars. And I mentioned this being built with mahogany back and sides. There is also a rosewood version of the guitar. And of course, there are also the grand concert versions of these instruments. So very impressive instruments that I think deserve to be tried out. Great sound, great playability, and really kind of a unique aesthetic that I happen to think is really quite beautiful, and that really works well on these guitars. So I'm going to get back to having Jim play the guitar with a flat pick a bit more, and also giving it a bit of a rhythm guitar workout in addition to playing some single note lines on it. And I hope you come back here to Peghead Nation to check out more of our gear demos. If you're seeing this on YouTube, come on over to pegheadnation.com. We have lots of lessons in addition to the gear demos that are featured there, not just for guitar, but many other stringed and fretted instruments. My name is Teja Gerken. Here's Jim Nunally playing the guitar a bit more.